We lost something else. We lost sound. That's not good. What's it changed as well? Let me fix that up. I'll just end. Yeah, Men in Black have been up to something known as Windows. Damn it! I didn't see that problem. I wonder how it got changed. Sneaky. Let's see. How do I normally do it? Voice. I think that was the default. That sounds like it. Need some sound. I might have to clip the front of this before I upload it elsewhere. What else has it changed though is the question. I got lots of virtual connections, you see. Let's try some. So that should be playing, I think.
And I am dumbfounded as to what it could be.
So that's working. Yeah, sabotage going. Oh well, let's try the intro.
The Out There channel, Robert and
Paul. Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel.
That's not right. Okay, so what have I done wrong? Right, should be 3. We'll get it right. There's a lot of connections here. Give time for people to join us, I guess. If anyone's out there. Man, how did that get changed? I have to zoom in on the big screen, so you might see something strange happening. Where's all the connections? Oh, here we go. Should be that one. Aha. There we got you, I think. And it shouldn't be just so distorted. It's very interesting how that got done. I gotta see how we go now.
The Out There channel, Robert and Paul.
That sounds better.
Please sub and share.
I suppose I'll
Searching
find...
for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Action.
So that seemed to go right. But there may be things I've missed still. So today's topic, is that still coming up? Oh yeah, that's still working. The Felon-5 of Ufology and Ufoology. So we might be getting there. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that today. Is Alien in sync? 1, 2. Yeah, that's alright. Cool. Yeah, it resets some of the microphones names and connectors. And there may still be some renamed. And that normally happens with a Windows update, which I have disabled, so it means something sneaked on somehow. Windows is always doing that. Maybe it crashed last time we did it. Did a live show, it crashed randomly. I reckon it was changing, doing an update then, or doing something sneaky in the background then. That sort of explains it, doesn't it? Hey countryman. Yeah, I had a few problems today. All my device drivers got renamed. Well, half of them did. The microphones and the default settings, which is routing through the mixer, because that only happens with a Windows update normally, which I've got sort of disabled. So yeah, it's really strange. Maybe it crashed last live stream. Were you here last live stream? It sort of crashed when I was just talking about Skinwalker Ranch, of all things. Of course, it doesn't update the settings until you reboot, right? So after I finished that live stream, I never rebooted. I sort of hibernated. And now rebooted fully for another live show. It's probably changed all those settings that it's set in the registry. And of course, that just changes your whole streaming setup. Your TV broke. What's the TV? Are you using a TV for your screen? I know you can use LCD on a computer. Yes, so it sort of ruined the flow of things again. Hopefully it sounds alright now. Let me know if anything crazy happens. Maybe it sounds better, I don't know. You never know. I was just doing it, various checks, make sure some of the mics worked.
I don't know. It doesn't look like a glitch.
Microsoft glitch.
Yes, my name is Ken.
Okay, this is working alright. Still, seemed to start up faster actually. Well, what if Windows has updated something? Hopefully it's sped up things. Yeah. So, who's out there? You country man so far? I thought maybe Stoner Girl was going to join us. Anyway, this came out in the last few days. I might kick off the show. I'm going to have to re-edit the beginning before I upload it to the other alt media sites. This one, I'll just have to put a chapter in and say skimmed to here. Because I got 5 minutes of fixing things. Because I clicked on start the stream expecting no audio problems. And instead of reschedule it, cancel the stream, reschedule it, it was easier just to carry on. Third phase. So yeah, if you want to come on and talk on the side, by all means do so. I can set it up for you. Just let me know. Stoner Girl, how's it going? Making food for the crew. Okay. Yeah, so everybody's got problems today. It's Sunday 12:30, so I started early today, New Zealand time. So apparently third phase are back from their months-long holiday and interviewing various people to make more money with documentaries, of course. And they brought out this thing here, which is kind of funny. So we'll go over it. First of all, it came out on GUFON, and now they've put out this thing here. So we'll just go over it. Oh, no sound.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here We just got back from our road trip, and recently Lou Elizondo and one of his buddies, I guess they leaked some kind of text messages between a podcaster and Lou himself. Unfortunately, these documents or these private texts have been made public. In regards to the Felon-5, Green Street, Dr. Greer, John Greenwald, and Third Phase, basically Lou's calling some people out there, including ourselves, felons through private conversations. Well, we're going to address this quickly on Third.
I'm pretty sure he's allowed to call you whatever he likes, Blake, in his private chat. It's not a felon to do that.
Phase of Moon, before we get to the UFO videos, which we've got some for you tonight. But, wow, we didn't expect this. We didn't expect Lou to go this far to somehow leak these private communications between a podcaster on YouTube with a small amount of subscribers. And they're having these conversations calling Dr. Greer, John Greenwald from the Black Vault, and Stephen Greenstreet from the New York Post,
Okay, so this is not how I read it. Let's do a correction on that. Notice he hasn't said the Felon-5 are. He's listed it as a comma. So the Felon-5 is a unique group in that list. So you got the Felon-5, and then you got all these other people, and they've put third phase at the end here. So they're all separate. He's not calling the people after it felons. So they're misreading it again. Subscribers, by the way. What's that? Never done it before. Never done what before? Subscribers. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you mean by that. But yeah, there are real felons in ufology through the court system, but technically isn't Third Phase a felon? Because they put out definitely fakes and admitted to doing the fake where they've made money from it. So if you do forgery, is that classed as a felony in America? Is fraud a felony? So he's all upset saying he's not a felon. In USA. Okay, does it tell us? Depending on the state in which you live and the crime you're charged with, fraud can be either a felony or a misdemeanor offence. There you go. So, really, Blake Cousins is a felon. He just hasn't been done through the court system yet. So, yeah, they've admitted to the Filipino, the little Filipino one being a stunt. Only after they got caught out, of course, years later. Fraud convictions bring with them possibility of jail or prison. Okay. Is it fraudulent? That's not how you spell it, is it? To make false claims in video. How YouTube fights fraudulent copyright crime. Doesn't do very good. It sort of supports all these frauds. What does it mean when someone claims your video? So straight away it's brought up YouTube, oddly enough, for that sentence. Best practices YouTube with copyright claim. How about fraudulent Well, I'm not sure how to word it actually. It's probably going to come up the same. Is fake news a felony? It should be defined really. It should be part of the rules system, right? CGI and all that. If you put up CGI without a disclaimer, then that's a felony crime and it should be loss of a channel. Fake news about the virus, now a criminal offence. So why isn't CGI? Criminal penalties for spreading fake news. So looks like the law system is looking into it, but obviously it doesn't apply to Google and the people they allow on their system. Blah 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 blah. It's a lot of blah blah there. Why can't I keep it nice and concise? Fake news, a legal perspective. Fake is CGI for deception legal. Artist license. CGI social media influencers, are they above the FTCs? Okay, let's have a look at that one. They seem to be. Oh shit. Looks like some sort of legal document of some kind. Citation. CGI. I can't believe I watched reading that. Can someone give us a simple answer? It's got to be out there, surely. Deceptive sales practices. Well, really, you're selling your channel when you do fake stuff. So, let's see. Deceptive selling felony. Types of misleading or unfair practices that are prohibited. Legal vision. What are false or misleading representations? It's when a business makes claims or representations that are likely to create a false impression in consumers, which is definitely comes down to what they're doing on YouTube, as to the price, value, or quality of goods or services on offer. So, how would you relate service? Well, if you're creating content that people believe in, that would be a good, wouldn't it? If you boil it down. So, I think there is definitely a law should be incorporated against these YouTubers, as far as I'm concerned. They should use disclaimers and say, some of it may be in my opinion, in the description or whatever, or at the intro of the video. So, yeah, we'll just carry on listening to what this guy's got to say.
Felon-5 were not only felons, apparently were unstable individuals. These are hard accusations that Lou has been presenting behind the scenes, and now it's public, so we're responding to it, and we'll just have to say, Thirdphaseofmoon, Brent and I, were not felons. So,
okay, so I've just gone over that, and technically they are. It's just that they haven't been gone through the normal court system yet. So someone's going to have to issue it somehow. FBI raid on Hawaii Island. And we'll just keep
We
going.
addressed it. There you go, guys.
I like the term bullshit artists. So are they talking about that list after it? So he's saying bullshit artists to all that list there, which they are. Greer.
I don't know what else to say besides.
I'm not sure why Greenwood is on there. He normally just talks about FOIA requests. As far as I know, he's the most honest person in the YouTube community. So yeah, that doesn't make sense why his name's in there, unless it's someone else. Maybe it's not John.
Lou should watch the language that he's using, and then possibly purposefully sharing the information publicly.
I know John did question whether he was really part of, what was it, ATIP? And then it turned out that the government were lying and trying to discredit him. But I'm pretty sure John corrected all that information when it all got come to light better, alright? So why would the government be discrediting Lou now? So this chat was between the two Lou's. I think the other Lou was UCR channel. What do you call that one? Keep forgetting the name of it. Celebrity Review. UFO Celebrity Review. The Talking Head channel, right? Has a panel of people just like GUFON and Alien Addict.
So people pick up on this and start spreading rumors. So
oh no, you can't spread rumors. You mean like secret space program, Blake? Is that spreading rumors? That NASA is never a straight answer? Is that spreading rumors? What else should we add to that list there of hypocrites being offended? Promoting Corey Good and Wilcox, or Wilcox as some say. Yeah. I think there's a lot of double standards in these fraud channels, right? Grifters.
So the language is very provocative. But then...
oh no! Can't have upsetting you, can we? And of course it's a private message, so who cares? So what does it actually say? With the Felon-5, Green Street, Greer... I don't even know who Green Street is. Wasn't he just a movie producer? Same as the other guy, which I don't like, Darcy, who works with all the frauds too, and makes money from it, making movies. Third Phase and all the other bullshit artists. It's very sad that this important topic has been relegated to fringe by all these hucksters and mentally unstable individuals. Well, he's damn right, isn't he? It's an absolute crime to humanity. They have been allowed to pilfer the pockets of people who have sacrificed so much. I guess I am a bit jaded these days. I take on people in our lifeboat only to catch them drilling holes in the hull. That's right, I tried to warn you, Lou. I said come on my show and talk to me before you go on other people's show. I'll tell you who all the frauds out there are. And then hide in their hand. Since my dad and I was on your show, they even attacked him for being part of the Bay of Pigs. Maybe my grandfather was right. They don't deserve our efforts. Well, I have to agree with him. What do you reckon out there? Damn, looks like everybody's gone. Okay.
Very disturbing at the same time. I got my brother here. He was shocked as I as we came back from
Oh,
our road
no,
trip
not shocked.
to hear these statements being.
Now, I know these brothers haven't got a felony charge because I've looked into their background. Not using these stupid paid fact-checker programs, but actually going to their court system in their state and seeing if they've got any records which are public and nothing to do with doxing unless you include their current address, of course, and phone number and email address. But none of that has been shown, and you can show their crimes. And you may record that it was like 3 pages of driving offences, driving without your license, driving without a license, driving over the speed limit is quite a common one. And to dismiss cases of what's that terminology called? Restraining order, which was related to a name which we weren't sure on, but did relate to a similar name of Big Island TV. So I just wonder if it was them that put them for harassing the producer of the TV network with their silly movie, right? Their movies are some of the worst I've ever seen. There's B grade and then there's third phase grade. But obviously there's enough idiots buying their nonsense to get them 20,000 here and there.
Being made in a public forum, leaked text messages. Brent, what's your thoughts on this before we get to the UFO videos? Yeah, Blake, this is pretty interesting. Coming straight in this week, and
okay, did he say anything else at the end here? No.
We're kind of like stunned when we first heard this news, and now it's making the rounds. I wish this text was kind of, remained in the background where people weren't allowed to see it. This was a private conversation between 2 people, and then it got dropped and leaked, and we still don't know the full story on how that happened, but these were 2 individuals that should have kept that conversation private. Now, leaning towards what's
obviously, it's got to be one of the 2 people in that private chat. But as you know, we've looked at this before legally, whether private chats, is it illegal to leak it? And the answer is no, unless you have a written contract between you both in the private chat that everything will be confidential. You can put up a disclaimer saying you're not allowed to leak out what's in private, but that doesn't matter if the other person doesn't agree to it. You have to get it in writing, or them agreeing, recorded voice agreeing to it. So yeah. So not much is going to happen here apart from upset a few egos, I guess, and a few so-called felons. But there are felons in ufology. As you know, there's UFO proof. His last felon charge was only in March 2020, right? And he has other charges and a whole string of offences, right? And we know that Tyler Klutner has been in prison, and he's also got a lengthy list of offences. Driving in a school zone very fast, DUI, and bashing the wife, which was dropped down to a domestic disturbance because the parties obviously refused to talk about it. I suppose if the wife changes her mind about it, what actually happened. So yeah, who else? We looked into GUFON. He had like a drag racing charge, which is now defunct, I think it was. There's also another guy with a similar name. There was a hardened core felony, but a lot of people are linking him into that. So, as far as I know, GUFON is clean. Who's the other main players in all this? Cambion, I don't know about. But he hangs around with GUFON. So, he's trying to be one that's attacking frauds online and hanging around with other frauds. So, frauds that are quite okay with CGI being promoted. Anyway, enough of that one. Just trying to clear it up. So that's UFO proof, Tyler. I don't think his class is a felony charge. Felony is normally stolen goods, and that's what UFO proof was caught with: stolen goods and trafficking. But as far as I know, Tyler's is not a felony charge, unless you call bashing the wife. Is that a felony? But certainly being deceptive, as I pointed out, online, not truthful, CGI, creating CGI, definitely comes under a felony charge in most states. Who's not real? They are not real, and they are who cares? Who cares what? Who cares about criminals trying to tell you that aliens are real? I think everybody should care. Damaging ufology. You're not another one of these religious people that thinks aliens are not real, right? That trillions and trillions of stars and trillions of planets orbiting them, we're the only ones that have life on it. That's how you're thinking, is it? You're thinking that we're the only ones, the first to be living in the universe? And no one else has got starcraft travel yet. Who knows? Why couldn't another form of humanoids be 27,000 light years away, which would be in the centre of the galaxy? Been travelling through space for millions of years. Why wouldn't they come here? They would eventually, and they would leave the galaxy and go to the next one. How would they do that though? Obviously they would set up little base camps from planet to solar system to solar system, collect energy, resources, water, and just keep recycling things, and livable ships where old and new life is generated. Ideally though, they would probably be doing robots first with artificial intelligence. Send them out, collect information, then return. Okay, got some UFOman ones to point out. So GUFON was talking about this the other day, which I stopped at because I didn't have enough time. So let's see what he was saying about it all. It's muted.
Lately. Let me tell you real quick what's going on. Unidentified celebrity review had Stephen Greenstreet on. They were getting into a conversation, and there was a message that was sent to Lou Jimenez, who's the host of UCR. That was from Lou Elizondo, and it had a message in there that was asking Stephen Greenstreet if he was a felon or not, if he beat women, He was talking about how he didn't like, the Felon-5, it's, tired of us and all that stuff. Nah, come to find out, I am not a felon. Told you. Yeah, Jimenez made it a really notable point. Like, he has fun being condescending to us, or to me, and to Steven, and to Manny at Area 503. He likes talking to us like we're idiots. Now, I try to give a lot of respect to Luis Jimenez.
What? GUFON idiots? No way. Yeah, right. He's certainly very weak on debunking UFO videos, even his own stuff. So, he certainly doesn't like his ego challenged, does he? Instead of listening to people, he will deny it, but he hasn't got the science skills. He hasn't got the technical skills. He barely can run his channel. He can't keep the camera even focused.
At UCR, but every turn of the road today, he just couldn't stop himself from, taking pop shots at us. Like, we're not
pop shots.
Special to be on Lou's Felon. He didn't say it, but that's how he was talking. Just he had a big audience. There was 500 people there, so he was feeling good. You can tell he was a little bit too happy.
But again, is there any dubious stuff that GUFON has done apart from trying to promote another fraudster, that they have changed their ways? So does that mean that they admit to doing CGI now, or does it? They certainly have to admit that they received CGI and promoted it. They admitted to the Filipinos ones, so they're felons that haven't been through the court system. And they haven't paid back all the people that believed all the stuff that they put up. And this guy's defending it, so does that mean he's conspiracy to commit felony? So that's a lesser charge, but still, that doesn't mean he's clean.
Just seemed a little bit different today. He knew what he was doing. He doesn't want anybody to know he listens to the show. I bet he listens every single day. We're going to talk to him tomorrow about everything. I've got a shitload of notes for tomorrow. But it's really funny how he thinks. Now, I don't watch a lot of UCR.
Yeah, this guy's always questioning how I think and other people think. Maybe you should question how he thinks.
I watched him when he first came out. And I even mentioned him to Thirdphaseofmoon. I'm like, hey, you got to see this guy. He says what we say about Lou. He used to be anti-Lou, anti-government. But I think what happened...
Well, we're all skeptical of a government employee coming out because we've been caught with Richard Doty before, disinformation agent. So was he yet another disinformation agent? We still don't know. So yeah, we all questioned Lou, but he has sort of changed his narrative a wee bit and he's sort of relaxed a bit since the early days, the old presentations he used to do. So he's more freely talking about it, but still very careful not to reveal anything that's going to get him in trouble, like NDA, right? But do we trust him? He said there's going to bring out some really good video that is better than what's come out before, and that's still yet to happen. So if it's anything like Corbell's has released, then that's going to be worse than what's been released.
What happened is he met him and liked the guy, and also it gave him about 4,000 subscribers over the last year and a half or so.
Yep, and you see that with all the other channels trying to beg for an interview with him. Artemis and Josh Show and all that sort of stuff, right? And getting turned down. Unfortunately, he went on UFOman, which is a known fraud UFO promoter of all sorts of garbage, which we're going to look at some of his videos in a minute. So, ufology, will it ever change on YouTube? Probably not. So you got to be very careful who you pick and choose who you follow. I think if you're a gullible, fantasy-prone person, then you're going to follow GUFON and all these other fraudulent alien and UFO promoters. He keeps saying he's a sky watcher. Who cares? If you film balloons day in, day time, and claim that some of them are humanoids like Jamie Mason, it's this total garbage. Did you film any real ones? Oh, some dots in the sky that form triangles. Big deal. Could be a formation of jets. None of these guys had the apps back in those older days either, so they couldn't verify on the flight tracker. But even so, military planes are never going to show up on there, so we're still pretty much stuffed until we get a true radar map overlay as well as the call signs. That would be really handy. So we can only check out this stuff so much. That's why MUFON sometimes has to call up the Air Force bases and say, was it you? And get their denial in writing, I guess. And no one does that apart from MUFON. I certainly wouldn't do it from New Zealand. They'd probably laugh at you anyway. Requesting radar data, I'm not sure what the process of that is, but no doubt it's going to be some charge involved in that. Even FOIA requests can cost you money.
There's, you can see, I watched everybody's numbers, and every time Lou would come on, it was like 300 to 500 new subscribers. So they helped each other, and Elizondo was giving Lou, all the most shows. I think he did 7 over the last year and a quarter or something. It was a lot. 7 over 12 months, 7 shows every 45 days. Elizondo was going there. So I think he felt a little bit, obviously he felt bad about what just happened with Green Street. And one of the questions is about that message. Because at the end of the Green Street interview, Jimenez, Lou CR, asks Stephen Greenstreet if he beat women and has a felony for it. And apparently everything got misconstrued. Lou made a mistake. I had to listen to it twice.
Sounds almost like he was mixing up that guy with Tyler Klockner, who beat up women. Who went on Tinder dates, and his wife, which he's not actually married to, by the way.
Twice, because the way he explains things, like my mind starts to drift, and I have to go back and look at it's just the way he explained it, and it was like he was backpedaling and stumbling around, and I was like, what did I just hear? I'm like trying to figure out what he's saying at the same time he's saying it,
So it's this drama in ufology, isn't it? It's always this ongoing drama about something. He said this, they said that. To me, it's just tedious. The criminals, the fraudsters, end of story. Whether they've been through the court system is another thing. You can't trust them. End of story. Move on to someone that's better.
You try to do that, but the way he told that story, it was just very deceptive. I believe there's something he's not being 100% honest about. He can deny it all he wants. We'll find out tomorrow, and we'll get a good feeling on what really happened, even though he told us tonight. But it wasn't him that made that public. And that message was going around on Twitter because I guess this is what I remembered hearing just an hour ago, that Greenstreet and Lou, or this guy Richard Butt, were talking about it. I mean, I'm still not sure. But it was put in a tweet. It got Lou off the hook. Lou Jimenez.
Yeah, let's just skip on a bit. So we don't know who leaked it. And you probably won't find out. But one of those guys will know who leaked it. They would have shared a private chat with someone else who then leaked it.
That's what it felt like.
I just want to get on to the bit where he's defending third phase again.
Trying to get felony records on people and talk about their mental health issues. She says, I don't really appreciate that, basically. Yeah, why isn't Lou just do your job, forget about what everybody's saying about you? Like, why would Lou go through all of this? This is what bothers me.
If you hear voices in your head, though, wouldn't that be a mental health issue? And it would make you question their stories. I'm surprised he didn't say heavy drug users, because that would change your state of mind too, especially if it's LSD.
Because I don't even do that. I mean, Manny and maybe Truth Seekers. I mean, Manny did, the documentary. Truth Seekers did a deep dive into Lou. I did my dive into Lou, but I don't think I needed to go any further than where I did.
So you trash talked him, and he's trash talking you. So what's the big deal? But he didn't do it publicly. It was done in a roundabout way. So it could even be, you could say it was photoshopped even.
I've heard some hard questions asked, but I think what Truth Seekers wants to know is about Gitmo, right? Isn't that it? He wants to know about that and some other things that I just can't remember, that I don't think Lou's ever answered, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's all out there as far as I'm concerned. This Lou story, this Elizondo, this cat is done, but he's not. Hopefully he does leave ufology. And I know everybody on the other side will say, no, why would you say that? Without Lou, we would...
So this is what I mean by being hypocrites. They're saying, hoping that these people should leave ufology, when they're saying that GUFON and Third Phase should be the ones that are leaving ufology because they do so much damage to it. By convincing people that they're not producing CGIs, but it doesn't stop them taking other people's CGIs, as we've seen in recent weeks and months of them putting up CGIs. Recycled garbage. Just trying to think of the one. One was definitely a faked video. One of the roadside one where they're seeing UFO come down and shoot a beam down. That was whole thing was staged. Fairly obvious, really, though. What's the other CGIs they had up? Anyways, quite a few, anyway.
Wouldn't have had these congressional hearings. Maybe not. But somebody else would have done this type of job. Somebody else would have. And it's going to go down the same road.
So you got to remember, this guy used to call out all the frauds. Now he's changed his ways. Now he's making hand over fist and money, right? From all the people that like him attacking other people in ufology. It's kind of strange, really. There is a mental thing in ufology for sure.
As every congressional hearing goes down. Dead end. Yeah, people are talking about it. Man, I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because it's very easy for me as a... He says, this with Lou, the sock accounts, the Green Street message, and all this stuff has no bearing on the congressional hearings that are happening next week. It doesn't matter to them. And then, I don't attack people like that. I really don't. If somebody's accentuating their breasts to get more views and subs, that's different. I like breasts. I like...
He's such a hypocrite, isn't he? He's trying to always justify what he said so he doesn't lose subs.
You know, who's that guy that was in Above Top Secret? Brian, what's his name? Billy Carson. He had a record in the past a long time ago. And every time Cambion hears his name, he's like, but that guy had a felony. Screw him. His word means shit. He embezzled, or he had a fake account on tax evasion or something. I think it does show character, but I do think it depends on the crime.
Oh no, not tax evasion. There's plenty of people in the US government that do that. And yet people seem to trust them. So yeah, it's kind of a sad world we live in. Taxes are really killer though, especially ST in New Zealand. There's obviously people going to want to pay less tax, especially with the price hikes currently going on with inflation and gasoline.
You know, murder, pedophilia.
I bet everyone in the world has not paid all their tax at some point. So do we throw everybody in jail? You know what I mean.
Those two are the big ones. They got to go. Rapists, goodbye. They don't have a place in I don't want them around me.
That's exactly what he's trying to defend here, is who do you forgive that done criminal acts? And fraud, to me, is not one you can forgive, especially when they want to start up a YouTube channel being facts on UFOs, right? It's sort of hypocritical, double standards. And him to dismiss it is just ridiculous. So yeah, serial killers, murderers, it's all sorts of people that you could forgive for killing their wife because they're under stress, or accidentally killed people on their car when they dozed off from working too hard. You know, certain things you can forgive, but would you ever trust them behind the wheel again as a truck driver or whatever? A lawyer. What else? Tax accountant, if they're embezzling stuff. All that sort of stuff, you know. Of course you can forgive people, but you can't let them resume from where they left off. And that's exactly the same thing that he's trying to promote with Third Phase, saying that they've changed their ways, which they haven't. They only mask some of it. They still have tried to do hoaxes, and they probably still try and get away with it again when their income starts to slide off a wee bit. If they can just fake a reflection on a window, if they're not getting content from other frauds, they will do it. Guarantee it. And so they deny that it was them behind it, like they always have. So it's only hearsay until we've got hard proof, of course, but stats-wise, if you applied stats to it, the amount of CGIs coming out of it, generally it means that someone's producing it and they know they are. Whether it's them or they paying someone to do it. Stats-wise, you can say that. But yeah, it would be good to get leaked payments and bank accounts and emails that prove 100% deception. I know some people have got confessions from Blake that they did do CGI. Nocturnal News, I think, has something on them. Who knows, he might put it out. Especially if he's being attacked by them. I know Tyler probably has, because remember he called them out even just in the last live we did. He repeated the same thing, that they've been knocking out CGI. That was from his mouth. And they would have replied back to him saying, how dare he? But he might have the evidence. They may have finally admitted, well, yeah, actually we did do something, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, be interested if those guys release some of the dirt.
And I know but hey, those are crimes that I don't want to give a second chance to be honest. If I found out you're a murderer, like you literally murdered, so I wouldn't be friends with you.
But it's okay to give a second chance to fraudsters.
You kidding me? Hey, the back of my mind, anywhere you and I would go together, I think you're about to murder me. Ain't happening. Can't be friends with a murderer.
And even if you start in a clean slate, why didn't they start with a clean channel? So that means you lose all your subscribers and start again. If you want to do a clean slate, because all that channel was built on lies.
Or a pedo, or a rapist.
Rapist.
And he also said, there's a reason why our shows are stagnant. The show wasn't stagnant. We had more up until the strikes. We were doing better than they were with 10,000 subscribers. Over 185 to 230 every night.
See, they're all worried about the subscribers, right? They know that you have to get up to 5,000 before you start having Google help you. Start listing some of your stuff back into the indexes. Once you get up to 10,000, even better, and so on and so on.
Last 2 weeks before we got the strikes, we were doing pretty freaking awesome. And says that's why they don't have guests. Obviously, he knows exactly what we do. You see what I mean?
I guess it can be hard to get on, especially if they're scared of you. Whether you're, able to detect bullshit or not and debunk things. So people are less likely to come to me with their bullshit because they would question it. But, I'm pretty lenient. And sort of respectful, right? People do get misled or misidentify stuff. And if you're not taught correctly, you're always going to keep on doing the same mistakes, right? But it doesn't mean there's not real stuff out there, of course. And most of the time, you don't have time to get a camera, as we've heard on the multiple witness accounts, right? And of course, even then it's covered up. You know, the military base ones, it's bound to be footage there, right, of all their security cameras. So who's covering all that up? You know, all these military people lying that there's something hovering outside the base or over the base silos? I don't think so. So yeah, the government's still got to answer all that still, and why they're still covering it up. And same with the Russians. Obviously, if it happened to Americans and it's not anybody off the saying world, and it's off-world vehicle, it's going to hover over the nuclear bases of Russia and any other country, right?
He spews out all these horrible lies. And he talks about Third Phase doing a little bit of research, and he's calling them frauds and fakers. Oh my God, there's so much he said that
which is correct.
this guy doesn't know what the frig he's talking about.
Sounds pretty sound mind to me. He knows exactly what he's talking about. It's you, GUFON, that doesn't know what he's talking about.
Don't know what you're talking about, Lou. Jimenez, you have no idea what you're talking about when it comes. I don't ask for guests to come on. I could have a guest on every night. Every night if I wanted to. But I don't want to. I want to be different.
That's right. So he's part of the bullshit team, so he can get any guest on he wants.
Want to be the center of attention. That's not why, though. I feel that I have a different goal than other shows.
Bollocks. My goal is truth, and only but the truth. So we can actually get to the bottom of the actual UFO topic. Putting up balloons and lens flare and saying NASA don't keep telling lies and all this is not going to get us anywhere.
And I think what I bring is different than everybody else. All right? That's why I don't have guests on all the time. And then he talking about third phase of moon, faking shit. He says, third phase of moon, we're caught hoaxing a video. No.
Actually caught hoaxing many videos. Only a bit hard to prove. But the ones where they're actually in it and saying this is UFOs when it clearly was a reflection of lights, or a search and rescue operation off the coast, clearly means they're being deceptive and fraudulent.
Hoaxing a UFO. That is not true. That is a bold-faced lie.
That's not.
Third phase didn't lie about the UFO footage. It was about the location they were in. Dummy.
He's talking about the little Filipino. Little Filipinos. Philippines, I mean. Which is meant to be like a town they call in Hawaii. But on the video they were saying they're in Philippines, off location, seeking the skinwalker or whatever it was, some sort of native creature of the Philippines. Anyway, so he's ignoring all the other stuff, right? Because there's no hard evidence that they were faking UFOs over LA, when most people called them out on the live show when they were doing it, and they deleted the episode the next day because they were putting out that new movie of theirs, and they didn't want it to impact the sales of that one.
Do your research and look at the last 5.5, 6 years of third phase of moon.
How about you do the research, GUFON, because you're totally wrong.
They don't say and make claims that everything's a UFO.
No, they use psychology and misdirection to So they're not experts, and then they try and debunk stuff and try and misdirect you from it being a balloon or whatever when it is actually a balloon.
They said, here's a UFO. We don't know what it is. Is it a balloon? Is it a drone? Is it a satellite? Is it a plane? They go through the gamut on just about every single thing.
So the most fraud channels in ufology is a balloon, is a plane, blah blah blah. But then they don't give you an answer, right? So it ends up being a waste of time. Instead of just putting out the images and enhancing it and try and actually figure it out like I do. Also doing some simple searches on Google, and sometimes you can figure it out, as I've shown you. Especially if it's an old CGI that's been recycled.
And this is the problem when people don't even do the slightest research at all. And Jimenez is telling us, telling Third Phase they need to do their research. If you don't understand Third Phase of Moon by now, you're never going to get it. Third Phase of Moon gets submissions from the public. They do as much research as they can.
How come then they go over people's YouTube channels and beg whether they could use their footage? That's not receiving it in email, is it? It's not like the person's contacted them and saying, I've got this video, do you want to use it? When you got comments from Mavi and all those saying, can I and Third Phase of the Moon use this footage? So again, it's all hypocrites and double standards.
And they post it as quickly as they can.
To make money of it.
They leave it up to us. They're one of the few channels.
Leave it up to people that have no clue what they're watching is a criminal offence in my book. Now you should be explaining it, if you can, what you're looking at, whether it's a reflection, camera artifact, blah blah blah, so people learn.
That leaves it up to you and me to figure it out. And they kind of almost make it fun, because some of them you can debunk, some of them you just can't.
Actually, most of them you can debunk, and some of them you can leave open because there's not enough information, or it's just not enough clear footage.
And those are the ones that I cherish. So, say what you want about Third Phase of Moon. You are wrong, like many other people out there.
No, he's wrong, and he's misleading people by saying that.
And by the way, those two, Third Phase of Moon, Brett and Blake, have done more for the community than Lou Elizondo.
They've done more damage to ufology than Lou has.
Listen to this. Have done more than Lou Elizondo and every other channel in the UFO community over the last 10 years.
Bollocks. I've done a heap in the last 6 years and found the answers to many of the UFO footage out there, even old footage.
They've interviewed everybody.
Yeah, it's a good way to make money. Especially if you get some credible people in there who hasn't heard that they actually are fraudulent. But the ones that know that they do CGI and have been deceptive, don't go on their show, like Lou hasn't gone on their show.
And at one point, apparently Lou Elizondo was going to go on their show. I don't know. He still might. I don't know.
Well, if he does, God help him. Because he ain't going to be taken seriously after that.
But, yeah, it's amazing. Dolan. I mean, you name it. Everybody's on it. Shrat. Everybody.
Every grifter's on there.
He's been on their channel. So it just makes me laugh when I hear people say shit Just like they think it's funny when I say stuff about Lou and I'm wrong. Well, let me tell you something.
Wrong
I
quite
can
a lot
only
of the
go
time.
by what's in front of me, just like the rest of the world. If you have inside information, good. Then you may know more than me. But other than that, I don't give a shit too much about congressional hearings because Lou helped. It would have happened anyway. It happens other meetings.
Alright, so enough of this guy. So I just want to go over his statement there and add my opinion in there as fair use on both Blake's video and his video. So now we can get on and have a look at some UFO footage, I guess. And more deception that's happening in ufology that's sort of going raw at the moment. So this one here, Red Sky in China. Remember I was trying to find footage of the fishing boats and the lights they were using and the reason why they're using the lights. Well, Scott Brando's put out something here about it and found some video of the boats, so I thought I'd play that. What have we got here? Metal, how's it going? Gayman, who is mentally... this is catch up with the comments first. Then I'll show it. Gayman. Oh, right, that's probably your name, Gayman. VM Gayman. Who is this mentally crazy guy we are watching? His name is GUFON, Richard Gordano. I can never say his name right. He is obviously totally ignorant and a fool. A foul. He is so wrong. It was to laugh about his sayings. That's right. That's why I'm pointing it out. Yeah, damn right there. Funny how some of us only know this though, and yet he's got donations coming in from his side chatters all the time. They're loving it. Let's see. It's amazing as how many sick clown making their podcast with obscurity to present. I can only agree all of you said. That's right. And they are felons, as I pointed out earlier. I did a search there. Making deceptive content, making money from it is a felony. It's just it hasn't been through the court system. And makes you wonder why Google is very sensitive. They want to make money from these guys too. So they're making money from criminals, just like bankers do. You know, the bankers love criminals, especially in Africa. And when these people get done over, they say to the people saying, "Oh, we can't lock their bank account and transfer your funds back." No, we can't do that, because they profit from it too. So bankers are criminals. Google are criminals. Oops, my video will get demonetized. Well, that's criminal. It's criminal in my eyes, anyway. They earn money for making live videos on YouTube. That's right, and of course Google profits from it. Unless they demonetize them, which they don't. And fakes, yeah. Yes, so shame you didn't join earlier. But unfortunately I got hit by the men in black. They took out all my audio device drivers and I didn't notice it. So I started thinking I had fixed it all and I had missed the main sound, which was playing the intro music. Intro graphic, I mean. So, I know some more people have been putting out more stuff on this one. I think third phase of the moon. Actually, third phase of the moon. Let's just have a look at third phase of the moon. You can see how they're promoting fakeness here with that red sky one. I forgot that it was after that. From them complaining about this part that we just
towards what's really going on. I know Lou has mentioned in the past that he.
So after here, they now catch up with some footage they've got, which has already been debunked. And here we go. So let's just go through what they're saying here and then go through UFOman. Oh, you shoe monkey!
哇靠，这个天怎么了？不是，它红的不会天上没了。还在闪动。我靠，啥情况啊？我觉得它黑成啥呀？好怕。
That's a car. That's a car. I don't know what they're saying. But it's funny. Sounds funny anyway.
没了耶。淡了，淡了。没了。
Dollar.
没了。
Yeah.
消失了。哇，莫名的消失了。哇，莫名消失了。
Okay, you can see the lights are obviously on the coast here. At the wharf. They're obviously far away from it. I'm just wondering what's going on there. It's amazing that even some in China don't know fishing boats are using these big red lights. It's amazing what they can do with probably LEDs now.
这天
They're all filming it the wrong way, you notice.
对啊，怎么这么红呢？
Oh no, it's locked. Landscape. There we go. Finally fixed it. Hey Blake, when are you going to start talking garbage over it?
Again, the
here
shock
we go.
and awe. People are in basic panic on the ground. What's happening over the night skies of China? Well, we're going to...
Well, he should know because it's already been debunked by various people that he keeps an eye on, including Scott Brando, so he should know it's fishing boat lights. But they're still going to make some profit from it, of course.
hopefully find out in the next day or so. We have some information coming in right now, but at the moment, this is pretty shocking. Just by the reactions of the people on the ground. Brent, what's your thoughts? Yeah, the Hidden Underbelly sent this a couple days ago, and we've been seeing it making the rounds. This is interesting. This is not a normal daily event or nightly event as it appears over the night sky of China. We're looking at something odd. There are rumors going out that this is possibly a fishing boat off the coast over there, shining a red light, trying to fish for squid or something like that. Apparently, they're trying to pin this on a fish.
So they could then do research on Google and actually verify it's correct. But no, rumours that it's a fishing boat with lights.
A fisherman's boat. If this was the case, you would think this would be happening every night over China. Really, I think there's something going.
Every night? I don't think we go fishing every day. Probably not for the same species that with the red light. And probably during day fishing. So yeah, we never found out what the red light was used for, whether it was used for squidding. I don't think it is. Maybe it's just to make it easy to see at night when they're processing fish on the boat. I don't know. That's what I could find out from the Google search, quick search that we did the other day. But we'll play Scott's video, see if he's got any extra answers in it. Third face on the moon. Psycho. Pets, if you ask me. They should be banned from YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure Bannon solves anything, but they should be demonetized, so they can't make any ad money from it. So, see, the advertisers shouldn't be putting ads on this garbage, right? I don't care if I lose it either, you know. If all UFO channels don't have ads on. But really, it's going to be some advertisers out there that don't mind UFO stuff, right? There's going to be like sci-fi movie writers or book writers or other UFO channels that want to promote on top channels, right? Oop. Why is it not playing?
Going on over there, it's really hard to get details and information, being that it is China. So we're still on the fence on what this is. Absolutely, Brent. Like you said, a fishing boat. We see this over and over again. And
we have. Remember, there's been lots of videos where people have been filming out playing windows, and the sea's been lit up with all this red, and everybody thought it was underground volcano, possibly, or some lightning effect, or whatever, or bioluminescence. But yeah, it was these fishing boats. They fitted these boats in Russia and China with these red lights now.
The multiple eyewitnesses and the reaction from the people, that really means a lot. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, guys. I want to
No, you're not.
Get your opinions. We have even more videos just in. It's going to be a pretty good episode. Guys, take a look at this.
Okay.
We're looking at some kind of object just hovering over.
Okay, so they changed the topic now, so I'll just go to Scott's one, and then we'll come back to this one. So this is Scott's breakdown of it, and here's a picture of the boat with all the lights on it. Crazy, isn't it? He hasn't got any speech on it. His one's just music, so there you go. Is it attracting shrimp, maybe? Maybe it's shrimping. I don't know. What they catching there? Tuna? So they've got these rows and rows of, I don't know, is it fluorescence tubes? Or LED tubes? A bit hard to tell. But you can see if you've got all that aiming at the sky and it's got low clouds, it's going to light it up red. So he's saying it's used to attract young marine fish. Fishes? No, there's no such thing as fishes, but you know. He is Italian. There's a faraway shot of the fishing boat. It's quite big, isn't it? It's like a factory on water. So they reckon red light attracts younger fish to the surface. Maybe they think it's shrimp or something. And of course we know red doesn't destroy your night vision, right? Unlike white, bright white would. So it's a benefit for humans to fish with red light. But you can see they have got the lights aimed towards the water, which is quite interesting. And then do they bend it back in when they've sort of attracted the fish and aim it at the sky? Because we saw it before, it was looked like it was aimed at the sky. Do they rotate it around so it's not aimed at the water? Just makes you wonder what damage that could do to this fish life, you know. The younger fish don't have a chance to grow and reproduce, and eventually we run out of fish stocks in the water. Alright, So these ones here are aimed at the water and also head towards the sky for some reason. So they can bend it outwards by the looks of it. Look at this thing, it's got 3 radars on there. Now there you go, so Scott found some information for us. So that's pretty good. So if you want to have a look, I'll post it down the side. Red sky, debunked. Now, but before we've had also other colour skies, right? Was it purple skies? Which turned out to be greenhouses? Or was it red skies as well? It turned out to be greenhouses in Norway or somewhere like that, where they use it in tomato plant growing. That's 24/7. And they can use natural geothermals to heat the greenhouses, keep them at a constant temperature, so you don't have to worry about whether it's summer or winter or whatever, or using gas, natural gas, to heat the greenhouses like we do in New Zealand. So that one there is debunked by the looks of it. Okay, we'll come back to these ones. So what's this one? That's highly suspect, doesn't it? Might see if I can pull an image of that. We'll see which one's better.
Over the street, as a car passes, basically heading.
A car passes something that's got a lot of lights on it. Could it be a flatbed truck there? Got some motion blur here. Could it be a truck that's turning? Why would it have all that lights on it though? Let's see if we can actually pull out some images out of this one. Which is something they don't do. They just swim in and talk garbage about it. So let's see if that works alright today, because we did have a few setup problems of it being corrupted this morning. So far so good. So what do you think on this one? Man-made or alien? It's on third phase, of course. Where is it? It's pinged on it. Couldn't see it. So it's on a smartphone box, but it's through a window. You can see how smudgy it is. So you can see reflections. It's like the car dash here. We also got motion blue. You can see how it's stretched images. So there's that street lights on the side. And is this a back of a truck or a truck that's just turned in from the side and going in front of them? So let's have a look. See if we can underexpose it, because it's very exposed. Could try brightness. It's definitely bright enough to shine a light on the ground. Creating some lens flare. Okay, so it looks like it might be street lights here. Let's Still, it looks like it could be a back of a truck here, couldn't it? Looks like it's touching the road here. And looks like some lights that you get on the back of the truck, brake lights. Why isn't the other one showing here though? Maybe he's got one brake light that's out. I'm not sure we can do much more with brightness. Let's try some of the other settings. So now we start to see there's different shades of white as it's expanded from the original light source there, right? Which is up here. Sort of changes it quite a bit, doesn't it? So, still lots something touching the road. I'm getting all the smear from the curvature of the front glass of the car. Could that be the truck mirror reflecting the car headlights? It could be, couldn't it? May have just been turning in front of them. Car headlights will be here. And these other ones that are smudging are probably just those little red brake lights that are not lit up at the moment because they're going forward. And of course they're stretched. So something on a flatbed truck. Why would they be carrying something that's lit up though? With trucks. Unless it's something they couldn't turn off. But what would it be that's got a light on it like that? You'd expect something to be on a tarp, wouldn't you? Covered. Yeah, so we're not going to get much out of that. We'll just keep on going. It looks like a round light source up here. But why would they be doing that though? Unless they're roadworks, where they got a sort of like a generator on the back of the flatbed truck and a light system to light up the side of the road. It's a possibility. I've seen something similar in New Zealand where they were doing that. Roadside lights. Sides. Roadside, what do you call them? Construction. Lights, back truck. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. So, I've got a sweeper. And you've got this thing here with the traffic lights on top, so I don't think it's that though. And you got ones with the arrows. Yeah, we get that in New Zealand. And up here too. But also light system. Let's see. Oh, here we go. That's exactly what we're looking at. Flatbed truck, light system. So they can see what they're doing. There we go. Light system, light system. They'll just drive forward on the truck so they don't have to reset it up all the time. So now you got my opinion what we're looking at. We'll have a listen to the garbage. Anyone disagree with my analysis? Highly plausible, right?
Directly into this phenomenon. What are we looking at? I have no idea, guys, but I'm kind of looking at it a little bit, and some people might say the bell. Yeah, it looks like some sort of energy source, kind of glowing yellow and orange at the same time.
You mean like a light?
Above the road over there. It's really hard to tell what it is. It's a kind of...
Okay, so we got some other clues that suddenly come up on the side here. Looks like there could be some sort of construction truck on there. And it definitely looks like it turned onto the road.
Kind of a provocative photo. That's where we're sharing it right now. But again, there's not a whole lot of detail to say this is actually a UFO, but kind of going back decades ago, this does kind of remind me of the Ed Walters encounter over Florida Gulf Breeze. It kind of has the same kind of attributes. That's why we're sharing this right here. But again, it could be anything. Maybe a crane or maybe even a train passing by. It's really hard telling, but it does appear to be floating.
So you gave a good clue there. It could be a crane. But he's almost there. Road workers with portable high last lights for illuminating the road so they can keep on working during the night. Why do these clowns interest and waste time and so many ridiculous photographs? Exactly. Unless they're going to debunk it like I just did, right? Claiming this guy's seen it and claiming it was a UFO. This is my opinion on it. Which is fair enough, you know, you could say that. But these guys just talk utter crap and they never give any solution. And they just throw things out there that it could be. Could it be a crane? Yes, it could be. You know, is it a UFO lighting the road like Gulf Breeze photograph? Unlikely. Because that was, you could see the craft metal on it. This is just pure light. And many times natural stuff, yeah. Yeah, flatbed truck with a high mast light system on the back. As they're moving along the road, that looks like it's doing something down the side of the road here. They're probably just setting it up actually.
Floating. And I'm not seeing any...
Yeah, they're saying it's floating, but when I run it through the filters, you can see clearly it was on top of something and it was connected to the road.
Kind of Photoshop or manipulation within. I think the photograph is authentic.
Okay, can you tell by the smearing of the light system that's not been photoshopped unless they're really desperate and clever. Because it's quite easy to fake that sort of stuff with a light source.
Right, and again, it could be just an atmospheric phenomenon, like maybe ball lightning. But
no, now they're moving away with their guesses away from really what it should be.
We need to get to the eyewitness and hopefully get their testimony. It's too bad we don't have any video on this, but we'll take what we can get.
Well, there are road workers that I photographed. I thought it was interesting. The light pattern.
Especially with a scene like this, a car heading straight into a UFO. Let's roll the next video of what is coming out as of the past few days. We've been on the road. We've traveled thousands of miles. But when we got back to Hawaii, everybody was saying, you got to look at this. The red planet has revealed something that obviously looks like a doorway, a passageway into the mountain itself. Carved geometric features here.
Hey, I was already seeing this, Mick West debunking it, and others. They just say it's a crevasse. But yeah, they haven't really proven it is. So let's just grab an image of that one too. Let me just close this one down. Let's see if we can actually see if that's really dark inside. Look for some clues where it could be a crevasse. Why would you have a standard doorway on Mars Day? Come on, guys. It's this ridiculous, really, isn't it? Come on. It's not even going into a mountainside, right? Looks like it's that sort of crumbly type rock. You know, layers of it. But it's interesting that it looks like it's been cut away here. So I can understand why people would think that's a doorway. And it looks like it's not really straight cut across here, it's around. And it looks very straight cut there. I would have thought it was more like missing data myself. Some stitching error that happened. But let's have a look. Because it's Mars, isn't it? And we know there's a lot of stitching errors on the moon and also on Google Earth, where they overlay images sometimes. And it goes wrong, especially if they try to add topology data to it, which is a 3D aspect of it, you know, which isn't really seen from street view, but it's sort of made up by a computer algorithm, which goes wrong. Where's open with? Alright, let's have a quick look. See anything obvious pops out. Even the colour seems a wee bit off to me, doesn't it? Almost looks like a rendering or a painting, doesn't it? See, there's a block there too, isn't there? Look, I reckon it's missing data, and I think even Mick West is wrong. We're not saying it's missing data, because there's clearly some missing data. Yeah, this see, maybe that was meant to get filled in here, and that was actually meant to be like a V chunk of rock missing, like a crevasse. So let's stick some filters on it. Now you can see there's not too much here. Alright, so now we start to see those blackness is not pure blackness. It almost looks like the sun is shining on inside the rock there. So could that mean that maybe it is missing data, but they're missing the colour information? See, that sort of changes it now, doesn't it? It does look like there's a crevasse with some missing colour information. And that block down here is turned into similar shaded colour blue. And that's not normal colour, of course. We're just artificially recolouring the blackness. And there we go. Look at that popping up there now. So we've got curvatures happening here. We've got a curvature happening here. You can see it looks a bit smudgy, like there is some missing information. See, it goes sharp here, smudgy bit, smudgy bit, smudgy bit, smudgy bits. I think there's some information missing, and you can see here, it looks like it's been stitched together. Various images, it looks like a stitching error coming down here. Look, that's a stitching line, look, coming right down. Yes, so it doesn't look like a doorway now, but it looks like maybe a dip in the wall where it's obviously crumbled out and it's fallen down to here. By the looks of it, chunk of the wall rolled out down to here. What do you reckon on that one? My analysis is correct there. And NASA don't doctor anything like this. I don't see why they'd need to doctor that. See, my reasoning for why would they want to doctor it is because aliens wouldn't be making obvious things in plain sight. We don't see it on Earth, right? It's always underground. Underground, you know, and you don't even see the entrances to the so-called underground tunnels even. What's some cases? S4. What's the other one? Dulce. There's no obvious entrances there, but people claim there's underground UFO base there. Why bother doing that when you can just simply go deep under the sea there and build anything you want to out of sight of humans? Same would be for Mars, but they haven't got any water, so yeah, there's just so many errors on this whole image. There's the square block, was it? Or was it another one? No, it looks like part of the wall crumbled away for some reason. But anyway, from that to, I'll just keep that one actually. From that to the other one, we'll just alternate it, maybe. So, got that. So that. Now, you do see a stitching line coming down here. And you don't see any of the shading. We don't see the blurry bits that seem to pop up. That's because they're really small, little chunks of information. So that's where the square bit was down there. So let's just go back. And there's the screw bit down here. Again, it does look like there is some missing data there, even recoloring it. See, what's interesting is we got this line coming in here. Which is suggesting that's all part of the same rock face, right? So this bit here, there's probably a rock sticking out this way that hasn't got the right color information, or it's in darkness. But here it does look like a stitching error, making a straight line through it. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what they say.
Something that you would see on planet Earth, in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. Could this be some kind of entry into a lost civilization? Again, this is pretty provocative.
Look at the music they got behind it, and look at the fantasy. They're now developing this image in your head that it's actually like in Egypt. There's the tomb.
Right here, this photograph, it's legit. It's coming in from NASA. And then again, some people might say, well, you believe in NASA that they've landed on Mars and they're showing us photos from Mars? Yes, I do believe that. I think these photos should be shared because it does stand out like a sore thumb, right, Brent?
Yeah, definitely. Again, we're not there. We can't really put our finger on this and touch it and walk in through this apparent doorway. We're speculating here. It's making the rounds. This photo is provocative again. And this is one of the clearest, I'd have to say, of something that looks like a doorway, an entranceway into the side of this ridge here. It's pretty fascinating. You can even see on the left side of the doorway, it looks pretty carved, like it was shaped in there, done with some sort of tooling or who knows what kind of technology, if this is the case. Again, we're speculating here, but this is really cool to look at.
Absolutely. Natural or built by some kind of intelligence. That's
a natural with some image errors, which makes it more, what do you call it, pareidolia to our brains.
the question. But again, we're looking at it. Does it look natural to you guys? Again, leave your comments in this live premiere and below. Roll the next video.
Okay, where have we seen this before? So listen to the language that sounds Chinese again. Okay, let's zoom in on that. This definitely sounds Chinese to me. Or Vietnamese or something like that. So could that again be fishing boats, but in a different location now, as the storms roll in with the thunder and the boats lights are flickering for some reason, maybe because they're getting electrical disturbance. Could it be fishing boat lights? We're not seeing them over the coast there. Seems to be lighting up the clouds there. Could it be some dust in the clouds and the lightning's making it appear red even? Or could it be a fake? It could be a fake quite easily, where they've colorized it Photoshop or something like that.
This is what I like about Third Phase of Moon, the bizarro, the unusual. And again, we're looking at something that's not manipulated. People call us the CGI channel. We don't share CGI videos here. We share
Yes,
legit
you do.
videos that we deem that need to be seen. And this is one of them.
So this try to use psychology on the people going, we don't do CGI. Bollocks.
I'm loving this. You can see some kind of possibly an atmospheric phenomenon, but what's the source of the light on the mountaintop there? And it just sustains its illumination at the same time with...
So it could be the fishing boat's having trouble with the generator and it's flickering on and off, right? It could be some fishing boat over the coast here. Let's just lighten up the low cloud, which is a storm cloud.
Then the cloud layer hovering above. Is there some kind of object within the clouds? Again, this is pretty crazy stuff here.
Yeah, take a look at that. You can see this charge of energy at the base of the mountain, right at the top of it, and it's illuminating the clouds, and it's just showing its capabilities on the vibrance of this light. And look at that; it's popping, and then it's emitting this red light reflect.
Well, it almost sounds like it's a spotlight, doesn't it? In this case, fishing boat lights.
Off the clouds. People are stunned. Is this some sort of a power line discharging? It doesn't look like the color.
No.
Usually you would see more something like a blue or a lightning kind of look. This doesn't look like a weather phenomenon. This looks like something coming from the ground that's illuminating the clouds itself. This is a unique capture.
Absolutely, Brent. Well said, guys.
Boring. Okay, let's carry on. So the rest of it's a news clip.
It found the vast majority of the 144 incidents of unidentified aerial phenomena reviewed over the last 2 decades could not be explained and were not the work of the U.S. military or government.
They failed to actually say possible private corporations harness this kind of technology. They continue to do that.
So they're just commenting on a news clip now. So that's them done. And there's the fake FBI agent, X-Files. I can't believe they based X-Files on this guy. He thinks third phase are the bee's knees. Because no FBI would be that dumb. What garbage is he saying?
It's cut for you tonight.
No, yeah, there you go, let's listen. It's on the movie. Only cost you $10 on iTunes or Amazon. Yeah. I'll just close that down there. So on to UFOman then. We'll start with this one. What do you reckon this is going to be? This is the high quality spud cam UFOs that we get. So it looks like it's a clip from a TV show or a movie. Let's see. Exclusive footage from a film, A Tear in the Sky. Have you heard about that? A lot of these UFO shows are pretty bad though. The experts are not really good experts. Tear in the Sky. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. So it looks like it's part of a trailer, I'd say. Although we still can get copyright claim on trailers, unfortunately. So they're setting up, obviously, an array of cameras, which is what we're trying to do. It looks like they've got some old cameras as well. Thermal, in thermal. Who was it doing it? Right, the UAPS guys. They just showed up on Skinwalker Ranch claiming that balloon, no, the balloon was a tic-tac like they saw. These guys were from the Navy, right? So these guys are trying to profit from it now too, are they? And the problem is these guys no good at analysing if anything on Skinwalker Ranch. So they've got their own show and movie. Then they're going to be easily fooled by stuff they're seeing as well. Award winning. Never heard of it. Tear in the Sky takes you on a unprecedented journey into UAP phenomenon. Team of military personnel, scientists. Yeah, did they ask Mick West? Special guest William Shatner. Oh yeah, that's just going to boost the ratings. Will attempt to recapture in real time the US Navy tic-tac. So yeah, they already got what do you call it? Confirmation bias, right? So it's only just excuse me. Let me just get a drink. Don't know, I seem to get that tingle in the throat quite a lot nowadays. So it's May 2022 release. Might have to hunt it down, see if we can find a free watch of it. Because I wouldn't pay for crap like that. So let's see what they're going to say. Take a chance that this clip has fair use.
Object that it'll appear in the frame.
What is that?
Okay, there we're looking at.
You see that?
Yeah.
What is strange is it's registering cold in the thermal camera, so it's over several.
Okay, so it's reappeared again. So what could it be, guys?
Pixels, and it has some motion to it. It looks like it rotates or tilts.
So what rotates and tilts, I wonder?
And appears and then dissipates out of the frame.
That's even weirder than the other things you showed me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so what could it be? Well, in my opinion, because they're only doing it in thermal, which is actually not real image, right? It's actually just looking at the heat. You could say it could be anything, but really it could be just a weather balloon or a model balloon, and they're going to appear cold and they're going to rotate and they're going to spin. So yeah, straight away it's easy to debunk this away, you know, because they've only got this thermal of it. They haven't actually got a visual of it, you know, like a P1000 times 100 image of it at the same time. So unless it's on the movie, that one's easy to debunk. Now, of course the balloon's going to be cooler than the background. Wasn't it on that recent one that Mick West did with the Utah one? Was it Utah? No, it was Arizona. Or south of Arizona. Mexico border to Arizona. The duck one, remember? That was similar. That it's actually the miler was reflecting the heat from the surrounding. And the latex ones you see straight through, apparently. But I think there's no reason why the gas inside couldn't be very cold as well. But anyway, so he's promoting them. So he'll probably try and get them on for an interview, was the bet. Sell, sell, sell. What's he got on here? Trying to promote that Lou was interviewed on his channel as a t-shirt thing. I wonder if they allowed that to make money off his image. Let's click and open that one actually. It is a t-shirt image, isn't it? Only $25. Yep. Properton from Lou. That's terrible, isn't it? So what's these guys saying? Let me just zoom out again. These vehicles don't have to be interdimensional. Especially if it's a balloon, it doesn't have to be. And governments just really need to say, yes, these objects are interdimensional. Well, the government ain't saying anything, so we ain't going to get anywhere there. Really interesting footage. I thought it was pretty mundane footage, actually. Looks like it took off. No, not if it's spinning. It may have just had a side of the balloon that had different temperature, and of course then it blends in with the sky, or reflects the sky heat differently because it's rotating. I have similar captures, square black objects, using my security camera, aim it in the sky 24 hours. Okay, so that's looking at infrared, not thermal. Awesome Video X. Need more. Real footage, rotate, and you see a figure shape. Yeah, it looks like an alien. Rotate it that way. Looks like a head of a person and a body and a legs standing close together. So there's not many comments on that one. So that one there I think is possibly a balloon that's spinning. And on to the next one. That generated a bit more response, as you can see. So let's have a look at it.
Hey guys, it's UFOman. Here's a clip of a cluster of objects, or one massive object, moving past the exterior ISS cameras, filmed on 5/10/2022.
Hey guys, so what are we just talking about? Shipping fleets, right? This, you got to remember, the International Space Station is not always looking out to space. Most of the time it's just looking down on planet Earth, and we get the city lights, but in this case I think it's just boats. Again, fishing boat lights.
Take a look, make an assessment, let me know what you think.
And of course they're a certain distance apart, because if you're sweeping the sea, you don't want to be too close together, and you don't want to be too far apart. And looks to me also like we've got the odd city light here. Now some people are thinking that's going to be stars, of course, which they're wrong. Again, this is deceptive because it doesn't show you the map where the International Space Station is at the moment, right? They cropped it. Normally you get the map down the bottom here, whereabouts it is, so you can sort of understand where it's looking down on and work it out from there.
And leave your comments down below. Coming up will be a replay with an enlargement.
So I can't understand why Lou would go on a channel like this. It's just as bad as Third Phase. Crazy guy.
And I think I may have sped it up a bit.
Yeah.
There would be a second replay and an enlargement and 7 still shot.
So the International Space Station is spinning faster than the Earth, so always the lights will go from right to left, right? Because the camera's looking down.
So take a look, make an assessment. Let me know what you think. Is it one object or multiple objects? Do you think it's space junk, or do you think they're UFOs or something other?
I see it's got some flickering there as well. But that's because it's going through atmospherics, right? We're getting lights from the sea going through various cold and hot layers of atmosphere. So it's going to end up distorting those just like it does when we're on the ground looking at the stars, right? And you can see these other lights here. Could be other fishing boats out to sea. It could be lights on landmass.
Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.
In fact, those lights are not moving, so they're not going to be other fishing boats or city lights in this case. So they're going to be reflections of parts of the International Space Station here, which is really brightly lit at the moment.
If you like the video, hit that like
but we got one here.
button and subscribe.
One there. 4 lights I see. 5 up there. I think there might be one there.
And remember to share us out.
And then there's a flicker of a bright light here as it
your
moved off.
social media platforms. Thank you.
So it's a bit deceptive. Alright, now you can start to see these other twinkles coming. That's because this is getting brighter as they're filming. Oh, there we go. So the light's reflecting off here. And then we saw another flash of bright light here. Those ones are constant. So yeah, I think there's again the fishing fleet at the moment. What time did he say it was? May again. So what other stuff has he put up? Let's just have a quick look. Don Smith, so what do you reckon of that guy? So all these people are coming onto his show now, which is kind of stupid. Was that because Lou's been on there? Yeah, they got sort of like a stamp of approval. Cheryl Costa, the one that thought Billy Meyer was actually real. Yeah. Although she did some good work in ufology. I say she's actually a transgender man. I always thought it was funny, they're saying, oh, she, and you're listening to Coast to Coast and it sounds like a man. Okay, so it was once upon a time he couldn't get any interviews. Then he teamed up with some guy which has managed to con people to do interviews. think we've probably much covered most of it already. So we'll move on. I don't know if there's too much out there to discuss now, really. How long have I been going on for? I'll just check. I don't want to go too long. It's already 2.5 hours, isn't it? But we did lose 10 minutes because of the entry. The audio was wrong. 2 hours 20. We'll have a quick skim around. UFO stalker, are they fixed yet? Doesn't look like it. Still not fixed. No images coming up. Yeah. And I did actually put a comment in. Wasn't opening up. Probably banned by now. How dare you talk to me like that? Yeah, I've tried to help the guy. Still me at the bottom, is it? Yep. Still not working. Latest ad, no picture. Access blocked to CloudFront. And I've given a link to it so you can check it out. Good to see support so active and reply to comment. That's a joke, by the way. In New Zealand, you'd be long sat. And in Australia. Yeah, it's pretty slack, isn't it? So it looks like nothing's working still. So we can't go through all those images, unfortunately. And that one's still down with the video. I think I left it there because it sounded like an interesting one to look at. But we're not going to get to see it unless we put the number into the MUFON database and have access to the MUFON database. That was a problem as well, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Case number. Case ID. Looks like they're changing the ID numbers, are they? There used to be just a number. Location, like 3 digits dash number, wasn't it? Let's see if we can search on MUFON. Where's the copy? Yeah. Let's see if the bookmark still works. Whereabouts is it though? That one. MUFON. What's it say? Access denied. So they blocked it off again. It was working. Now the stopped us accessing it again. Can't win. Stuff it. And MUFON's a bit of a joke, isn't it? So it makes you wonder why they made such a mess of it. Normally you work in parallel, right? So till you're sure the new system's working correctly, then you turn off the old system and replace it with a new one. I don't think Secureteam's put up anything still. He'll class that interview he did with Fade to Black as a new episode probably. Nah, still the same old crap. That had CGI. That was a CGI image, that one. GUFON. UFOman we just looked at. Thirdphase we just looked at. Let's have a look at UFOinterest as well. Nocturnal News, I don't think it's put up anything. So we'll probably wrap up on him today. I've got a wee bit of a headache at the moment. So. Alright, so he's doing the fishing boat one again. And the doorway one, which I say is a missing colour information. And also a crevasse, a bit of both. Secret doorway. You're looking at a... Okay, what's it say there? So what's the opinion on it? CNET. NASA didn't spot a secret doorway on Mars. So what did they say? The story is part Welcome to Mars, a series exploring the Red Planet. NASA Curiosity rover image, May 2022. Would love the definitive proof of alien life. Yep, we would. Recent NASA image, blah blah blah. Goofy Mars rocks are the spice of life for me. I came across this Tuesday in a since removed Reddit discussion asking what has caused a doorway. The cutout on the side of the Mars hill. The view comes from a series of raw images. I told you it was stitched together. Captured. So is that line going towards the door? Where's the door? In this image. UFO debunker UFOinterest tackled the image of what looks like entrance. Watching it in context as part of the whole mosaic, you can see that the little richer and a rock with other blocks, fractures, shapes, and other erosive features all over the rock face. Yeah, it doesn't say it's blurry though, like I've in some parts of it. Yeah, I want to know what NASA said about it. Looks like they're not going to say. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Rock garden. So yeah, from Scott Brando. Which is not really convincing, is it, compared to what I did. Anyway, I thought we were going to get some answers from NASA then. Also shared by Metro UK. Secret doorway built by aliens. Do they know it's built by aliens? Okay, back to the red fishing boats. There's the video he found of the boat. Raw image again. So it's bouncing between the red sky and the NASA image. Oh, there's the boat. And then the other subject. So, yeah, where's the complete mosaic? Here's the whole mosaic. Let's have a look at that. Looks like some missing data there. Hey. Where's the doorway? And obviously, taken at different times of the day, so where it's brighter and not so bright. Which is typical of Moon and Mars photographs. So where's this amazing doorway? Is it like 2 inches big? Is that it there? That's a rock. And there's a stitched image. Ooh, what's that? What's that alien symbol? It's actually on the rover. There's part of the rover. Where's this doorway though? Part of the rover again. Could be at the top there. I'm not seeing it. So we don't know how big it is either, do we? Could be like a couple of inches. That was far away there. This is definitely closer up, right? So we'd expect to see a fairly big doorway, wouldn't you? I reckon it's only small. So they mislead you by that too. Anyway, I can't see where they're looking on that. Does he pinpoint it for us? Let's see, he's got it down here near a big rock. Looks like, is that the rock there? Is that the same rock here? I've got that line, squiggle line going down. Is it a squiggle line? It's got a line there. Which is definitely a fracture in the rocks. Oh, there it is there, isn't it? I'm not sure. Is that the doorway? Yeah, and can we zoom in on it? There we go. Is it here somewhere? Can't see it. That looks like the rock. Further around. Yeah, it sort of loses meaning when you look at it in this detail, doesn't it? You can see that it's pretty close, so it can't be really big. And you can see all the stitching errors here, and the variation, variant in colours. Anyway, I'll post a link to that so you can have a look yourself. And we'll wrap up for the day. My head is terrible. But anyway, let me see it. How do you spell it? See. Probably got a typo there. Oh no, it looks right. Anyway guys, so thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed today's show, and I'll catch up with you next time. Robert's trying to get on a guest. Oh no, yep, their channel's putting guests on. Someone from New Zealand that's observed UFOs, so see where that goes, whether I hear back from them. What day it will be, I don't know. Hey, Mr. G. Is it a capital G or a small G? Okay, guys, good night. And 0 donations again, but that's not. But if you ever watch GUFON, it's just all roll call and thank you for left, right, for all these people just throwing money at him. And he doesn't do anything for ufology. Doesn't do anything apart from create drama. I'm the only one that's really trying to look at things with a balanced eye on things. If I thought aliens built that doorway, I would have said so. Or that light on the back of the truck, you know. But anyway, take care on the roads, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully. With some more proper UFO stuff. Or more interesting UFO stuff, I should say. We're a wee bit late joining, Mr. G, but you have to scroll back and watch the beginning. Remember, the first 10 minutes was sort of messed up. I will edit that out when I upload it to Rumble and BitChute though. I got sabotaged by the Men in Black again.